Elvis. Welcome to my ASMR channel. Today I'm gonna be showing you all of my books I have. Recently I've been really into reading. I've been getting back into reading, and I've been watching a lot of ASMR book content. So I thought I'd share my books that I've read recently and the books that I'm going to read. So it might be a short video, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, so first off, I am currently reading Homesick for Another World by Otessa Moshfegh. Otessa. I love when they tap on the spine. I don't have any nails, but this is a book containing short stories. And I really like it so far. If you've read Otessa, then you know that she writes very raw and kind of intense books. So some of the stories are kind of super intense, in my opinion, but I've been liking what I've been reading so far. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to my list of books that I have read, and this is Valley of the Dolls. It looks like a huge book, but it's only 442 pages. I got this book off of eBay, and it's kind of falling apart, but it was like $2. I've always wanted to read this. I really enjoyed it, but I'm also one of those annoying people that after watching any movie or reading any book, I'm like, wow, that was really good. But I just like this. It's kind of written like a soap opera. I feel like the author intended for it to be made into some kind of visual. I mean, it is a movie, and it definitely feels like it was written for the big screen. Next, I have Eileen by Otessa Moshfegh, and she is my favorite author as of right now, so I'm gonna have a lot of her books. I think this is my favorite book of hers that I've read so far. The direction of this book didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go, and I was kind of disturbed, but it was good. I definitely recommend this book. Alright, the next Otessa book is Death in Her Hands, and this was the first Otessa book that I read, and it was a very slow paced book, and not a lot was happening, but I was really into it. I didn't mind the slow pace of it, and I did take a couple weeks off of reading it, and then I got back into it, and then I really liked it. After I finished reading it, I was like, wow, I don't know how I feel about it, but then I just kept thinking about it, and then I've come to the conclusion that I did like it. novellas, so it's like a very short book. It is 145 pages. It took me like 3 hours to read, maybe. It was very short, like I finished it all in one sitting. It's kind of confusing because it switches from like past, present, and like the author's imagination. And it's kind of hard to like distinguish that fact, but I really enjoyed it. Okay, I have Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass, and it is a poetry book by Lana Del Rey. It's just a book of poems, and there's also like photographs towards the end. It's very pretty. The poems are also very pretty. I have never to have it. I have one bookmarked for some reason. But it is gorgeous. It's the font, like the pages look like it was like photocopied from printer or from typewriter. I want to get more into reading poetry, and I love Lana Del Rey, so I think this is like a good start. If anyone has any poetry recommendations, I would love to hear some. Okay, and the last book that I have read is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. This one and Valley of the Dolls are very similar, like the same vibe, but this one's more like intense, as where Valley is it's like a camp version of this. I really did enjoy it. Like, while I was reading it, I was kind of like confused where the storyline was going, and then when the main character ends up like at a mental hospital, that's when it started to get good for me. And then overall, like, I really enjoyed it. I did have to like overlook some of like the problematic things in this book, because there's a lot, but it was written in the 60s, so I kind of have to like ignore that. Like at first I thought she was doing the thing where like Odessa does this thing where her narrators are very judgmental and like very real and kind of unlikable, and I thought that Sylvia Plath was doing that, but I don't think she did that on purpose, because this is like loosely based on Sylvia's life. Okay, so that was all the books that I have read, and now I'm gonna go to the books that are on my to-read list. I have No Longer Human, and I feel like this is a very popular book. I believe it's translated from Japanese, but I could be wrong. Okay, my next to read list is Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises. And I forgot, I'm pretty sure it was like an ASMR person, and I saw them do like a what's the word, like historical books, I think, or classic books, their favorite classic books, and this was on that list. So I'm excited to read this. And Girl Interrupted. I feel like cool people like this movie, and I feel like I've definitely seen like screenshots and like posts about this movie, but I wanted to read the book before I saw the movie, so I got this book, Girl Interrupted, by Susanna Kaysen. And like from the description of the book, it's kind of like giving me like bell jar vibes. I have here the picture of Dorian Gray, and I did listen to this book on, I listened to the audiobook of this a long time ago, but I want to reread it, because I've never actually like read the physical copy, I just listened to the audiobook. And I feel like this is another classic. Oh, it's by Oscar Wilde. Okay, I'm running out of books here, but I have Their Eyes Were Watching God. I read this book like a long time ago, and I remembered like how good it was and how much I liked it, and so I rebought it to reread it because I don't remember it, but I remember loving it. And I read, or after I finished reading it, I found out there was a movie with Halle Berry, and I like vaguely remember this, so I just re-got it. I just got it again so I can reread it. And the last book on my to-read list is The Virgin Suicides. And I feel like this is such a classic movie. And I've never seen it either, and so I want to read it before I watch the movie. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a lot of these books I want to read for the aesthetic. Okay, so that was all of my books on my list. If anyone has any book recommendations they would like to give me, I will happily take it. I mostly read like fiction or non-fiction, but I would be open to like other genres of